I've always loved trading cards. After school in 5th grade, me and my friends would always just play Yu-Gi-Oh! For like hours, and I loved collecting the really cool cards like the Egyptian gods, the 5 pieces of Exodia. If you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, recently I've gotten back into these trading cards, and I was reminded of the cards that I used to actually make in 5th grade. We would Photoshop these just goofy little guys and then glue them and print them out right onto some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that we didn't really care about. And I still have them. They look like something a 5th grader made, but they're really cool and brought back some good memories. So recently, I kind of had the urge to make some custom cards once again. But instead of some cringe ghost seer, I decided to make cards of my friends. I thought I'd start off by giving a little bit of context for what made me want to do this. You see, my friends have gotten absolutely hooked on this one app called Whatnot recently, and if you don't know what Whatnot is, I describe it as the amalgamation of every single addiction and brain rot that today's society faces. And I'm not even kidding. Like, just take a look at this. You see, it's an online shopping site, which is already known to have some sort of addiction set to it, like Amazon. And it gets just a little bit worse because it's also an auctioning site. And auctions use some weird FOMO and scarcity tactics. And trust me, it gets worse. You see, it's also a live streaming site, kind of like Twitch. And what's even better than an auctioneer? Well, an auctioneer that you can have a parasocial relationship with. And trust me, it gets worse. You see, Whatnot is built for a community that likes to buy and sell trading cards, collectibles, figurines, any other kind of stuff like that. And this certain kind of community is prone to having an appeal to certain questionable images, and the thumbnails, they're unregulated. And trust me, it gets worse. You can doom scroll. So while I hate literally everything this app is and represents, I do love what you can buy on it. My friends recently discovered the One Piece trading card game, which is what got all of us back into trading cards in the first place, and I'm already addicted to buying the One Piece manga, and now you're telling me I can buy super awesome physical art of all my favorite characters? Sign me up. We spend a good chunk of time just looking at all these cool cards on the TCG website and just scrolling through them. And while looking at all of them, I thought to myself, how cool would it be to have some of these of me and my friends? And that's how it all started. Anyway, how do you make custom trading cards? So this time, unlike the cards that I made in 5th grade, I wanted these to not be part of a template of a game that already exists. I wanted them to be part of their own original game that doesn't actually exist, it just kind of feels like it does. So the first step was trying to figure out what I actually wanted to be on these cards. Now, every single card game out there shares certain attributes. For example, if you were to take a card from literally any game, it would have some sort of stat, whether health, attack, defense, power, whatever it may be, and also a move or an effect that is unique and specific to that particular card. I wanted my card game to have a similar kind of template. So I used 3 stats, that being aura, Riz, and bond points, which are gained and lost throughout the game, and then also a move and an experience, which are a reference to a certain trademark thing that particular friend does, which is the move, and a memory that I have associated with them, which is the experience. Now that that's settled, I just opened a Google Doc and planned out the stats, moves, and experiences of all my friends. I tried to make the effects and the descriptions of the move and experiences somewhat resemblant of what they were named after. For example, my card, the move is Lock In, which increases all of my points, but shuffles me back into the deck, because when I do this, or I guess when I lock in, I'm known for just leaving everyone undelivered and just disappearing. And then I tried to use the aura, Riz, and bond points as a way to capture the personality and relationship I have with each person. Anyway, most people don't buy cards because of the gameplay. I mean, some people do, but most people buy them just because of how cool they look. So we can't just have a card with stats and moves, can we? We need some artwork. Now, because I'm modeling my cards off of the One Piece trading card game, I wanted the artwork to be anime versions of all my friends. Unfortunately, I absolutely suck at drawing. I haven't tried since 7th grade. Fortunately, though, there's this little new piece of technology that has the world literally on fire right now. That's right, I'm talking about AI. So there's many reasons to hate AI, but if it has anything going for it, it can really make some awesome stuff. In order to make the artwork for all the cards, I used this AI filter to turn photos that I already had into anime artwork, and it honestly just worked out way better than I expected. Like 3 years ago, me and my friends would mess around with filters like these and just laugh at how bad they were, because honestly they were pretty bad, but now it's 2025, AI is insane, and man, these are just so cool. Now that we had the actual artwork, I needed something to put it all in, right? So usually cards have a box for the artwork and then a separate section for all the moves and stats. However, these aren't the cards that everyone's collecting. What all the people want these days is these full art cards, where the artwork is the entire background of the card. And so I wanted the same thing. In my first design, I molded it off of the One Piece trading card game full art cards, where the border is an actual border. It's touching the side of the card. And it looked really good, I liked it. But then I found another type of One Piece card, which is full art, where the border is actually smaller than the card itself. And it just honestly looked so cool that I had to keep it. And boom, I was done. That's 9 beautiful custom trading cards. Unfortunately, these are just on my computer. I want to be able to hold them, right? So how do we make physical custom cards? So in order to make the cards that I made for Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in 5th grade, I just printed them out on regular sheets of paper, then glued them onto already existing Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And this made them pretty low quality and honestly kind of ugly and made them look like they were made by a 5th grader, which makes sense. I was a 5th grader. But this time I switched it up and used this new and improved awesome method to make them look like they were made by a 6th grader. Now, the first thing that I did was put them all in a Google slide and print them all out. You might be saying, now Santi, isn't that exactly what you just said not to do? Well, first, be quiet so I can finish explaining. And 2, this isn't any regular paper. This is transparent paper. Ooh, cool. Alright, so why do we even want to use transparent paper? Well, the coolest cards out there that everybody wants usually have this really cool effectualized background. This is usually like something glossy or this holofoil shiny thing, or in my case, this crystallized background. And I wanted that in all my cards. So in order to achieve this, I just got my transparent paper and put it on this special cardstock that I bought, which has that holofoil background. And when you do that, boom, we now have these special cards with an affected background, and this is the one that I actually used. Now, before we just smack it all together, there's one last thing we need to address. You see, the effect is cool and all, but usually, in trading cards, the subject of the card is exempt from that little effect, just so it appears a little different from the rest of the card. And I wanted to do the same thing with these cards. This is achieved by having a little piece of paper in between the transparent paper and the background, basically changing the background of that specific part of the card. Not only that, but printers don't print the color white, which makes sense because you're usually, and keyword usually, printing on white pieces of paper. However, in my case, I printed on transparent paper, so you can see that the transparent paper, things that were printed on it, aren't the original color that I had on the computer. However, this all changes if I just put it on a white piece of paper, because the white shines through and makes them have that bright color that I originally intended them to be. So anyway, in order to make these, I first outlined on Photoshop where I didn't want the card to be effectualized, then printed that outline out and used an X-Acto knife to just cut them out. And it worked a lot better than I expected, and now that we have all the materials in place, it's time to put it together. So all that's left to do now is just line everything up, cut it, and tape it together. So the very first thing was cut out each individual card from this sheet of transparent paper. So I had a bunch of these little transparent cards of my friends. And then I got the paper blocking and double-sided taped the paper to the card, like you can see here. So that's the paper blocking, and I taped that onto this transparent card. Then I taped the paper blocking onto this little background. So the transparent card, paper in between, and the fun little background. This got to this little fun card, and I tried to use as little tape as possible because you could kind of see it through the transparent paper, which made the final cards like pretty flimsy. As you can see, it just comes apart like that. So the key last part was to put that into a sleeve, which 1 will protect the card, and 2 will keep everything together. So this short sleeve kind of isn't enough. So then we get a hard sleeve in the soft sleeve. Well, it's soft sleeve, put that into the hard sleeve. And this serves 2 purposes, 1 being protecting the card, and 2, literally sticking everything together. Because since we use transparent paper, if there's literally any space in between the transparent paper and what you want it on, there's going to be this weird effect where everything's raised and is floating, and it just makes nothing look good. I don't think I can show a good example with the camera, but point is, with this hard case, it's pretty tight, and it literally pushes the transparent paper onto the background and onto the paper that's in between the two, so everything looks good and nice and nothing's floating anymore. The other thing is this side, because I use transparent paper and a special background, only the part where the paper is in its full color glory, and I wanted my friends to see the original designs. So once I had the actual card, I then double-sided taped just regular transparent paper out on the back of the cardstock, which conveniently for me is just straight white. And so we have the front side, which is the cool part, and the back side, which is the original design. And now with all that, we have all these really cool cards. These aren't all of them because I already gave away some of them to my friends, but it looks great. And then there's just mine. I made a bunch of them for my friends. And here we are. So we have all these now really cool custom cards. I made one of each for each of my friends, and then one of each of my friends for me, and then one of me for each of my friends. And honestly, I'm a little bit jealous of my friends now because I gave them the better version of their cards. So I got to keep the worst one and they got to keep the better one. And in my second batch of cards, I learned from all the mistakes I made in the first set of cards, which made them honestly substantially better, the ones that my friends have. I might just be a perfectionist, but anyway, all that's left now is to give it to them. This is Rick's. This is yours, Dom. And this is yours, Adam. No, let me check. Check the tapes. Alright, bro. Let me take this off so I have more drip.
Oh, wait, yeah, I got it.
Alright, you guys are free to open it, y'all.
Alright. Alrighty.
And if you get some ones that isn't yours, I'm sorry.
It's a ring! I'm getting
Holy
it!
shit! Look at this!
Yo!
Look at this! Look at me! Oh my god!
I gotta get
Oh my god! These are crazy!
Yeah, my
And they're so
soul!
pretty! Yeah! It's your own cards, Sean!
Oh, I saw that this coming.
It's your own
And on the
cards,
back is the
Sean.
original design, yeah.
What the?
Okay.
Is there a pack in there?
Who knows? There could be a pack.
Oh my
Oh, what is
goodness
that?
gracious,
What
they've
is
been
that?
produced.
Look at this.
Wait, they're both so hard. Wait, yours is so...
Wait, what's
I can't-
what's
I'm not
hard?
Take it out
Take
the
it.
sleeves, it will explode.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the back is the original color.
I see. We got the hollow variant. Oh, my god.
Goodness! Oh my goodness!
Look at that's
This is
hard. as
crazy.
hell. Oh my god. Making you know that one Logan Paul like necklace with the Charizard?
Yeah.
I got to.
I gave you